I always thought my family was perfectly normal. Sure, we had our ups and downs, but we loved each other. Then, one night, I overheard a conversation I was never supposed to hear. What I learned. It changed the way I saw my parents forever. Growing up, I had a great childhood. My parents were loving, my younger sister and I got along well, and we had a happy, stable home. Or at least, that's what I thought. Everything changed a few weeks ago when I came home earlier than expected from work. I walked into the house and heard my parents talking in the kitchen. I was about to say hello when I heard my mom say, "We can't tell them the truth, it would destroy everything." I froze. My dad sighed. "I know, but what if they find out on their own?" My heart started pounding. Who were they talking about? What truth? And then my mom said something that made my stomach drop. "They'll never know they're not really ours." I felt like the floor had disappeared beneath me. Not really ours? Were they talking about me? About my sister? I backed away before they could see me and went straight to my room. My mind was racing. Had I been adopted? Had they lied to me my whole life? I needed answers. That night, I waited until everyone was asleep and went into my parents' office. I started going through old documents, my hands shaking as I searched for something, anything, that would prove my fears wrong. And then, I found it. A folder with my name on it. Inside were adoption papers. I wasn't their biological child. The next morning, I couldn't hold it in any longer. At the breakfast table, I took a deep breath and said, "I know the truth." My mum went pale. My dad put down his coffee. "What do you mean?" he asked carefully. I placed the folder on the table. "Why didn't you ever tell me?" For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then my mum's eyes filled with tears. "We were going to tell you someday. We just didn't know how." "So you were just going to lie to me forever?" I snapped. My dad shook his head. "Number. But we loved you so much that we didn't want you to feel different. You are our child. That's all that matters." "Then why did you keep it a secret?" I asked, my voice breaking. They had no answer. Over the next few days, I couldn't stop thinking about my real parents. Who were they? Why did they give me up? Did they even know I existed? I decided to search for them. It took some digging, but eventually I found a name, and then a phone number. I hesitated for hours before finally dialing. It rang. Then a woman's voice answered. "Hello?" My throat tightened. "Hi, I think I might be your daughter." There was silence. Then she whispered, "I've been waiting for this call my whole life." I met my biological mother a few weeks later. She told me that giving me up had been the hardest thing she had ever done. She had been young, alone, and in a situation where she simply couldn't take care of a child. She cried when she saw me. She kept saying, "You look just like him." As for my adoptive parents, things have been complicated. I love them. I always will. They raised me, cared for me, and gave me a good life. But I can't ignore the years of lies. I don't know if I'll ever fully forgive them, but one thing is for sure. I finally know who I am. And no matter what, the truth is always better than a lie. Would you be upset if your parents hid something like this from you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Upvote if you believe the truth should never be hidden. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it.